Hi everyone, this is Gisela Scalese. I am the Education Librarian on the Thunder Bay campus of Lakehead University. Today we're going to look at how you can find journal articles that are specific to education using education subject-specific databases. So we're going to navigate away from this page and go to the Lakehead University Library website. Now there are several different ways that you can access the library website. You can go to the main university page and on the footer click on library. You can also enter the URL library.lakeheadu.ca, or you can do a Google search for Lakehead University Library. From this page, if you click on locations, you'll be able to access the education library, and you can click on either Thunder Bay Education Library or Aurelia Education Library. And this is the education library website for both campuses. From this page, you'll be able to access many education-specific resources. Today, we're going to look at education-specific journal databases. Now, before we launch the page and go into our search example, I would like to mention that when you're doing a literature review or finding journal articles for your paper, it's a good idea to use several search tools. Omni and Google Scholar are good search tools. However, they are multidisciplinary and cover a number of different subject areas and include many journals. So often you will retrieve a few 100,000 hits, and that can be overwhelming. A way to avoid that is to go right to subject-specific databases, and you have access to several of these here on the Education Library site by clicking Journal Databases. Now on this page, you'll notice in the middle of the page are listed several different journal databases. These are all specific to education and will return very good results for your search. The first database is Education Source, and this database is an excellent source of academic and peer-reviewed scholarly journal articles in education. It's an index for over 3,500 journal titles. The next one on the list is Cbca, which is a short form for Canadian Business and Current Affairs. Now, this is a multidisciplinary database. However, its content is specific to Canada only. So you will find education research here that is Canadian in its subject coverage and is also published in Canadian journal articles. The next database is the ERIC database, and you'll see that it's actually linked 3 times here. Now, it doesn't matter which link you choose, you're searching the same content in all 3 links. The only difference is that the search interface is different. Now, ERIC is the most comprehensive database in the area of education. And it is actually a database that is prepared by the United States Department of Education. ERIC is a short form for Education Resources Information Center. So we are going to do our search using the EBSCO link here. And if we click on ERIC via EBSCO, what will happen here actually, before you get to this screen, is you will see a proxy page where you will have to enter your LU email username and password. This will identify you as a Lakehead student, and you will be able to access the ERIC database and any other databases that Lakehead University subscribes to for the duration of the time that your browser is open. Now, before we search here, I would also like to mention that the ERIC database is a database that has over 1.5 million items. And this can include journal articles, government documents, conference proceedings, books, reports. They're all included in this database. Now, each item is given a unique accession number, either beginning with EJ or ED. If it's an EJ, it's a journal article. If it's an ED, it will be any of those other items that I mentioned: a conference proceeding, a report, a book, a government document, or any other kind of literature. Now, you can actually tell the database only to search for EJs or only to search for EDs. Just at the bottom part of this form here where it says journal or document, the default is to search all, but you can certainly switch to search just EDs or just EJs. I'm going to leave it on the setting to search all. Now, when you're here at this point, or before you get to this point, it's a good idea to try to have a good idea of your topic, formulate your topic in the form of a question. Once you have your question, you can break it up into different parts. And what you might want to do is try to do some brainstorming or a little bit of reading to try and figure out some different words or synonyms that represent your topic. You might want to look at how a word, you might want to just note that if there's been any changes to terminology over the years, is there a short form? You might want to ask yourself, is there an age group or a country or an education level that you want to focus on? Have all of these things. You may want to have a journal or a log and keep a record of these different search terms and keywords that you can use for your search. Now, when you have all of those search words, you have your question, then you can begin to enter your terms into the advanced search of the ERIC search screen here. So the example that I'm going to use today is actually the question, do graphic novels help with literacy education for adolescents or teenagers? So the three areas is the area of graphic novels. So just a search tip here, when you enter a phrase, you can put quotation marks around it to tell the database to search for those two words together. Now, the next idea that I want to capture here is the idea of literacy. So I could enter a few synonyms for the same idea all on one line. And then the next one is the age group. Now, another search tip here is that if I'm not sure of the ending of a particular word, I can put an asterisk at the end of the beginning of the word, and it will catch all of the different variations in the ending. Now, a few things to make note of here is that I am not specifying where I want the database to search for this information. I only want it to do a keyword search. I could, if I had a title or an author, I could change the field where I want it to search, but for now I'm just going to ask it to search as a keyword. The other thing to note is that there are Boolean operators in between each line. The default is AND. So just a quick review here is Boolean operators include AND, OR, and NOT, and these will tell the database what to do with my search words. So what I want it to do is I want it to make sure that in my results is graphic novels and literacy or reading and adolescents or teens. So all three of these ideas have to be captured in my results. And when I hit search, it will search for those keywords, and it has returned 63 results. Now there are a few things that I can do here. I can refine my results further on the left side. I can ask it to limit my search to just peer-reviewed articles. I can change the date range, and at the bottom here is also where I can further refine by journals or ERIC documents, as we discussed previously. Now also at this point, what you might want to do is take a look at the subject headings that are assigned to each article. Now, Every database will have its own set of subject headings. These are standardized words that are assigned to the articles. And what you can do is you can use these standardized words in your search those as subject headings, and you'll return more focused results. So let's just take a look and see what subject heading words come up in our search. So I see that adolescence is a subject heading word, so I could use that. I see cartoons, and let's see what else. There's literacy, education, novels, cartoons. I'm not quite seeing graphic novels. Now, if you're trying to figure out which subject heading is available, if you go to a thesaurus, the thesaurus that's built into the database, this is a thesaurus that is unique to the ERIC database. If I click on thesaurus and if I enter a word, it will usually give me the word that I should use instead of that word. So it's saying instead of using graphic novels, use the word cartoons. Okay, so that's a subject heading. So I'm going to go back to advanced search and I'm going to enter those subject headings. So cartoons as a subject. And then I remember that adolescence was also a subject. And literacy education was also a subject. Okay, so it's going to do a subject search with those 3 words, and it returned 9 results. It's a smaller set of results, and you would have to go through these, and I would recommend looking for more subject headings. You could do a combination of a keyword search and subject headings. Keep looking, find other subject headings that you can also use for your search. Now let's take a look at one of these articles, the first one here, for example, and let's see the kind of information that you get here. So you get the name of the author, where the name of the journal, the issue, the year, the pages. Tells you that it's peer-reviewed. Here are more subject headings. It gives you an abstract that tells you what the article is about. Now what you can do here on the left side, something called cite. Now if you wanted to see how that article can be cited, it gives you a number of different ways according to the reference formats that are listed here. So there's APA, there's Chicago, and MLA. If you want to access the article, you'll go to the left side where it says Get It, and it brings you to this screen that tells you the different ways that you can access it. It says here full text availability, and we'll click on the first link, and it will bring us to the PDF of the article. And then you can read it online, you can save it, print it, and you'll have the actual full text there. Now going back to our search results, I will just mention that it is worthwhile to run the same type of search in Education Source. Keep in mind that Education Source will have its own set of subject headings and will have some unique journal titles there that you will be able to search through. Now, if you come across any titles that you cannot find, any items that you can't access, please get a hold of us. I'm going to put up a screen here that will give you information on how you can contact me or Chris Tomasini. We definitely will be available to help you either by email. We can also set up a research consultation appointment using Zoom or another platform. That can also be arranged. Thank you very much. I hope you find this useful, and I look forward to hearing from you. Thank you.